Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's webinar, where we are talking about a brand new game-changing tool that Emil and Christian will be explaining you about, like you just saw on the image there. My name is Jeppe Lindegaard. I'm the event and project manager here at Danish Sound Cluster. I personally have a background in music and sound design. But now I am taking care of these webinars among many other job tasks here at Danish Sound Cluster. And I would just like to share with you that Danish Sound Cluster, for those of you who don't know us, we are a member organization in the sound industry, and we're facilitating the sharing of knowledge, experience, and new research, relationship building in the sound community, and new collaborations to boost innovations. And the last line there is why we are actually gathered here today, because we are presenting a new project that we've been making in collaboration with Danish Technological Institute. And we have Emil Thomsen and Christian Jensen in the panel today, who will explain all about this new app tool. And Emil Thomsen, to your right here, as a business manager at the Danish Technological Institute, Emil leads various initiatives aimed at enhancing innovation and business in various industry sectors. Emil has been the project lead for two interlinked projects supported by Danish Sound Cluster in 2024. Do you want to say hello, Emil?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. And Christian is a senior consultant and data scientist at Danish Technological Institute. He has a great expertise with designing mapping tools and analyzing markets and partnership opportunities. Christian is the designer of the Innovation Partner app, which is why we are gathered here today to hear about. Just to start things off, Christian and Emil, you've been in close collaboration with Danish Sound Cluster in this app development. Emil, what kind of need does this app cover?
The purpose of this tool, or the idea, sprung from the need for identifying new partners or relations when facing a new innovation issue, or wanting to start a new product development or something like that. And you are in need of partners with knowledge in an area where you have no other current relations, and therefore it's difficult to know how to proceed in or advance your innovation process. So this tool was meant to as a starting point for gathering information about potential innovation partners around the world.
That sounds very promising. Now, Christian, who's this app mostly beneficial for? Companies looking for talent, or talent looking for job and collaboration opportunities?
Well, I guess it could be used for both. So as you'll see in a second when I'll introduce the tool and give you a tour of it, you can identify companies that are kind of the top companies in terms of having valuable patents within a field, and you can find those who have partnered with others. And if you're a talent wanting to work at a top company, of course, you can find what are the top companies that are really doing the best innovations within the particular field that I'm interested in relating to sound. But as a company, you can go out and find those who are innovating within a particular sound technology and who are doing the best work. And you can see whether they've actually partnered up with others before in doing the innovative work that they are doing. See if there is a history of partnering up that you can then use as at least a proxy for where there is kind of perhaps possibilities for partnerships.
Great, that sounds great. Looking forward to hear more about that in a second. But I'd like to just hear maybe a little bit about collaboration process that you've been through here. What has been the most fun in this collaboration process?
Well, it's been a great pleasure to get some feedback from a lot of your members of the Danish Sound Cluster. We've gathered, I think, 10 to 15 people 2 times. First to scope this project and get some initial ideas and feedback for the project, and then again for testing a beta version of the tool and getting very good feedback on how to enhance it, the tool. So it's been a great pleasure to meet your members that are very active and have provided very good feedback in the process.
All right. Well, now I won't take any more of your time here. I will just leave the floor to you. And for those of you who've just joined the webinar today, we are talking with business manager at Danish Technological Institute, Emil Thomsen, on your right, and senior consultant and data scientist Christian Jensen to your left. And they will now be presenting this new innovative, sensational app tool for you all. So take it away.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So maybe just a few more words on the purpose. I already touched upon it briefly, but the process of identifying new partners in a technological area where you have no relations in advance can be difficult. Because where do you go to find them? That's always a difficult question. Of course, you can go to the industry meetings and network events, but this tool is a faster and more efficient way to gather a list of at least potential partners to reach out to. And also it makes it possible to examine possible partners from around the world, not just in your nearby area. So yeah, this is the purpose of it. But of course, you can also use it to get an idea of which other companies are doing innovation within your niche area, to get an idea of their competitors maybe, and so on. Yeah, that's the purpose of it. And now Christian will give you a little tour in the app, on the tool. So let me just find it here. It might be it's reload, but let's see.
Okay, great. And can everybody see the app?
Yeah, looks good.
Good. So this is the front page of the app, and let me just zoom a bit in here. Oh, so yeah. So what you see here is initially a map of the world with all the companies who have actually applied for a patent related to sound technology. And yes, you can see between the years 2014 and 24, so within the last 10 years. And as you can see, there are a lot of companies, a lot of actors. These cover both private companies, public organizations. It could also be private persons or other kind of entities. Most are private companies. But so this is kind of the initial view you get when you land on the app. But from here, it is all about filtering down the data to find the kind of companies or actors that you are looking for and that suits your needs. So someone to partner up with, or perhaps competitors, or what kind of mapping that it is you're interested in. And so to the left, you have the filters that you can use to filter down the data. And on the right, or at least my right, I'm not sure if it's reversed for you, but on my right at least, you see kind of the output of the filtered data. So right now there is no data filtered, so we just see all the actors. So before I start filtering the data, let me just try and zoom in on the map so you can get an idea of the data that is present on each actor. So let me just zoom down here to, let's say, Italy to see what comes up. So you have a private company here, for example, Eurocopter, that have 2 patents related to the sound technology. And you see here the patent titles. And you can press those, and it's a link to the patent in the Google patent database, if it's in the patent database. So we've used another database that is more extensive, have a better coverage than the Google patent database, but that database isn't public. But if it's present in the Google database, you can press the link here, and it will send you straight to it. So these are the informations that you can get on each company. You get the name, you have the kind of patents, number of patents, have they partnered with others, how many citations do their patents have, what are the patent titles, and you can go and look for them. And you can get that output on a map, or you can get it in a table. So in a table format where you can see the name of the company and again, what type of company it is, number of patents, the domains that they're within, have they partnered with others, how many citations have their patents gotten, and what are the names of the patents, if you want to go deeper into the actual content of the patents. Okay, but let's get to what is actually the most interesting, which is how to filter the data to actually find companies that are interesting or organizations that are interesting to you. So let's get over here to the different filters on the left, and let me just briefly go through the kind of the ways you can filter the data. So you can start out with narrowing down the years that you want to look at, the year of the patent application. So for example, if you want to only look at the last 5 years of patent applications, you can scroll take the scroll over, so it goes from 2019 to 24, and then you can see the data, the map updates. Now you have fewer actors on the map. But then, of course, you are looking for some company that is working within a particular field of sound technology, or at least a particular application domain of their innovations. And that is what you can search for here in the application domains. And there are more than 5,000 keywords here that you can search through using the search bar. So for example, if what you are interested in is innovations related to headphones, for example, you could write in headphones. And then you can choose here headphones for stereophonic communication. So now I'm only looking at actors that have applied for a patent within the last 5 years, and only patents that are related to headphones. So now again, I have narrowed down the number of actors that could be relevant to me. But then again, I might know that I am looking for a private company. I'm not looking for a private person or a public organization to partner with or somehow get in contact with. So you can select the kind of actor type that you're looking for. So let's take off public organizations, private persons, or others, and only look for private companies. So again, we've narrowed down to fewer companies by now. Then you might say that you are looking for within this group of actors, so or within this data, you want to find those who have the most cited patents. And here, citations is a kind of proxy for the quality of the patent. So the more a patent is cited by others, at least as a proxy, it's not perfect, but as a proxy, it says something about the impact and quality of that patent. So I'm just going down to the last filter here, where you can select the citation percentile range that you want to look at. So for example, here, that means that if you choose the 90th percentile, you're only looking at the top 10 most cited patents related to headphones within the years 19 to 24. But let's take the top 20%. Let's say we want the actor to have their innovation, their patent, to be in the top 20 most cited patents. So I've narrowed down again a bit here. So again, we are getting fewer and fewer actors to look at. So if the last thing we could do here, or we could do two other things, but the last thing I will do here is to say, okay, I want to find someone who have actually partnered with others in their patent applications. So of course, many companies, they are the sole actor on the patent. They are the only ones who are applying, but in other cases, companies are working together in their innovations and in their patent applications. So I want to find companies that have actually worked with others in the patent applications. So now we are actually down to 20 companies. 10 are in Asia, we have 4 in Europe, and we have 6 in the US. So now perhaps I can say, okay, now I've narrowed down to those 20 companies. Perhaps I already know that I'm looking for a company in the US or in Europe. So I've actually narrowed down to 10 companies that could be particularly relevant. So now I can start perhaps zooming in and look at what are these companies. I could do in the table mode, but I could also just do it here on the map. So let's go to the US, say I'm looking for a US partner. Perhaps I already know the area that I want to look in. So here is St. Paul in, is it Illinois, or I'm not so strong on my style. Oh, it's Minnesota. It's Minnesota. I'm looking for a company in Minnesota, and here there was one. That's Starkey Lab. So I know now that Starkey Lab at least have patents, and these are the patents that you see here. These patents that are listed here are related to headphones. So there is also this filtering in the data you get when you look up the companies that have been narrowed down to. So these patents are related to headphones, and I can see that they have actually 8 patents related to headphones that have applied for in the last 5 years. So they're quite active, and I know they have partnered with others as well. So that could be perhaps a candidate. And I can get my data here in table mode as well. You can see the 20 companies here. Oh, there are 21 companies that I found, and you see there are some big ones among. Perhaps the 2 big, Amazon, AT&T, perhaps not kind of big partners I'm looking for, but I could go down the list and see, are there perhaps some smaller companies that could be interesting to me if I'm looking for a smaller company, and then you can narrow it down a bit more yourself. Okay, so that is an example of how you can use the tool to kind of narrow down the companies that could be relevant for you to partner up with within a field that is relevant to you, a technology field that is relevant to you. Let me go back. Let me go back a bit here, reset the whole thing. I'm just gonna reset all the filters here so we have all the data represented on the map. So again, we have all the data now on the map, unfiltered. So we could try and go through just another brief example, and when I'm done with that example, I think we will just then take questions that you might have, explain more if that is needed in terms of what you can do with the application, or discuss some other matters that could be interesting. Before I turn to the last kind of example here, you can see there is an about page up here on the app. And if you go into that about page, you can read about the different filters and how to use them and what they represent in terms of what kind of data it is that the filters represent. So that is, if you want to use the tool, you can go in here and read a bit more about the data. And I also want to just underline here that when you filter the data in terms of the years that you're looking at, the application domains that you're looking at, and the kind of actors that you're looking at, the citation percentile range is kind of recalculated each time. So when I've limited it to certain years and certain domains, and I then start limiting it to like a top 20 patent, active with a top 20 patent, it is only top 20 patents within that domain and that year range. So that is kind of automatically recalculated. But let's take another example. A last example, I guess we can try hearing aids. See what we find. If I write hearing aid, I get a lot of application domains related to hearing aids, and we could perhaps just check off all of them, saying I'm kind of looking very broadly within hearing aids, people just doing innovations there. So I click off all the different categories related to hearing aids. You can already see that we are very active here in Europe, and we'll also see that Danish companies are very active, of course, within this field, leading companies we have in Denmark within this field. But let's say that we want to look now for a public organization to partner with, not a private company. So we can click off anything here as that is not public organization. So we want to find a public organization that is kind of doing some innovations within hearing aids. We already know the public organizations tend to partner up with others, so we don't, perhaps that's not very interesting here to look at, but we want to find at least those who have patents that are within the top 50% or above the median patent in terms of citations. So as I put the citation percentile range at 50. And so here we can see that within the last 10 years, we have what seems like 15, 16 public organizations here that have done, applied for a patent relating to hearing aids. And let's see, we have in Europe, we have the University of Salamanca in Spain, and we have the university in Turkey, the Hacettepe University. And then you can go in perhaps and read a bit more about the patent time, see what kind of innovations is it actually that they've done within hearing aids. You can also see probably some names in terms of the inventors. So that would be the researchers from the university that would be relevant to contact. And you can do the same here for the University of Salamanca. Go in and read about the patent in that sense. Could also perhaps be more specific in terms of your categories here. If you become more specific, you have, because there will be fewer actors to look at, but we could say that we were only looking at hearing aid signal processing, perhaps. Then we are down to fewer actors. And you can see that the University of Salamanca was one of them. And you have quite a 5 actors in the US. And over here, it seems to be in the South Korea, perhaps Japan, that you have well, China, South Korea, and Japan, you have some actors there as well that could be relevant. And of course, you can get it in the table output as well. So you have the 9 actors here, or 9 public organizations that could be interesting to look into in terms of finding the right partnership for you. Yes, so that was 2 examples. I hope they are informative. But I guess for now, unless you want to say a bit more, we can open the floor for questions and remarks and comments, whatnot.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Christian, for this very nice walkthrough.
Yeah, but before we open up, I would just
Yes.
add a few words
Sure.
about
Please do.
the data that the tool is based upon. I forgot to mention in the beginning that this is a database of actors, private companies or public organizations that that have applied for patents. So that means this is not necessarily a comprehensive list of all organizations working with sound technology, only the ones that have or hold patents or have applied for patents. So that's a limitation that you have to have in mind when working with this tool. Yeah, that's the one thing. And the second thing I wanted to add was just maybe to put it in these examples into context. So let's say that you are you want to form a consortium for applying for some research project in Horizon Europe, for example. And you know your own strength and weaknesses, so you can cover some of the areas in this this project that you want to do, but there are also some areas or angles that you need to find some partners in order to secure this this application. This is an example of where you can go and find potential partners. Let's say you want to just an example. You want to incorporate some AI technology into your hearing aids. You know the hearing aid technology, but you are not strong on AI. So here you could go try and identify partners who know this part of sound technology, so you can partner up in a consortium or do product development together and so on, just to add some context to it. And now we can open up the floor.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Very interesting stuff and very beneficial for many, I'm sure. Now, my first thought here is I can tell now you're in a browser version. Will there be a version for smartphones? Like an app?
It's not planned at the moment, but it could be turned into an app. It's possible.
Yes. Okay. I was just curious if it was in the pipeline. Okay. So, Emil, you were talking a little bit about patents and stuff like that. That's what you actually can kind of identify. So, do you know of a sector that this in the sound industry that this app is more beneficial for than others? Is there a sector that this is more applicable to? Sorry, than others. Like, for example, you talk about hearing and health, or maybe the sound experience and audio products industry. Do you know of that?
It's a good question, and I'm not sure if I can say whether it's more beneficial within certain domains, but we know for sure that within hearing aids, there is a strong culture for patenting your technology, and this is not the same for all segments. I think when we looked at it in another project, acoustics solutions, for example, there were not a lot of patents in this field compared to hearing aids. But whether that means that it's more applicable within hearing aids, I cannot say for sure.
Right. I guess it also demands some kind of industry insights. That's maybe a bit above you. I don't know. I'm just curious about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of thinking, what potential does this have for me individually? Say I'm an engineer or someone working on developing a product, like individual Danish sound professional. What kind of potential does this have versus, for example, the Danish sound industry as a whole globally? Can you say a little bit about that?
I guess the examples and the context I just mentioned was for an organization or a company to identify partners. For an individual, an engineer, for example, this could give you an idea about what are the top companies in your field of interest, and if you are looking for finding the most innovative and an interesting place to work, I guess then you could narrow it down a few organizations that you might want to examine in more depth.
All right, cool. So now this is a tool that encourages to collaborate, right? I mean, this is a tool that wants to partner people up. Do you have any other ideas of how we can encourage for more collaboration? Because I mean, at least we at the Danish Sound Cluster believe that collaboration leads to more innovation. So can we do something to encourage that even more?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I guess that's
And
outside.
encourage people to use this tool, of course. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's outside the scope of this particular project and the tool here, but because this tool can help you identify potential partners, but of course it cannot say whether or not an organization wants to do collaboration. So this can only be a starting point for your search for partners. You would still need to reach out and go through the, what do you say, traditional process, vetting process. But I would say that in my opinion and the experience from the last month working with the Danish Sound Cluster, you have a very active community compared to some of the other industries that I've done work within. So I think it's a great opportunity to go to your events and take the opportunity to network with interesting people from the industry.
All right. Thank you very much. Super interesting stuff here. I think that's about all I have for like the tool itself, which I can definitely see a lot of potential in. So now I'm just here for a final question. I'm kind of curious if you can maybe elaborate just a little bit about this collaboration process with the Danish Sound Cluster. Can you speak just a little bit about how it was initiated and how others perhaps could be inspired to do a similar project?
Yeah, sure. We at Danish Technological Institute came up with the initial idea, but then in collaboration or partnership with the Danish Sound Cluster, we scoped it and made it fit so that it suited the purpose of your members and the organization. So in our experience, it has been a good process and very easy process to bring a very loose or open idea to the sound cluster, and then they helped form and scope the project and have also been very good at facilitating the participation of the members in various activities, both the participation in workshops and webinars, but also on finding relevant interview persons for doing background interviews and other kinds of activities. Yeah.
Great. That sounds like a very good cooperation you've had there. I think that's about it for now. If you, Christian, don't have anything to add, I will kind of wrap things up here. This is your final chance. Okay. I would just like to once again say thank you to Emil Thomsen and Christian Jensen from Danish Technological Institute for sharing this app tool with us. And we're very excited to follow the journey and see how it grows. And on behalf of the Danish Sound Cluster, I would just like to say a big thank you for you who signed up for the webinar and those of you who will watch this later on demand. You can follow us on YouTube and LinkedIn for many more webinars and events, network activities. So don't miss any of the action there. And on our website, we have many new events coming up actually in the near future. You can go check that out. There's many more than this. So please go and see if there's any of interest to you. So we believe that collaboration is the way to innovation, like I said earlier. And we do have a lot of collaboration projects like the one we just saw today. And if you work in the acoustics and environment, sound experiences, or health and hearing, you have maybe an idea for product development, market innovation, or other kind of process innovation, you can reach out to my colleague Tine Midgaard, who will take care of your inquiries and can also give you an overview of some of the potential that you have to join a project like this. So that's all for me and Emil and Christian for today. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.